Okay, we're here with Tim Hall from the Hall Brothers Racing. On the last episode, we talked about heavy metal and Big Boss. Now tell us about Big Boss and kind of how it ended and how you guys progressed to a newer and better truck.
Yeah, we ran the Big Boss out, and it did good. It had different motors in it along the way, and we learned different things, and we were onto something. We were learning. So we knew the sport was progressing, and we knew we had to get better. So Mark was at home. He was starting to build our new truck, and we knew we had to get to the coilovers like everybody was starting to run. And but nevertheless, I was at a match race, a sprint car race in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, with Steve Combs, the Night Stalker. He was my buddy, and we were racing. But I was going to beat him. I wasn't going to lose. And I landed, and when I did, I had a habit of whenever I landed, I always reached down and pushed the shifter into neutral. So I reached down, and the shifter wasn't there.
It's probably because the brakes weren't very good, right?
Yeah.
Back in those days, sometimes you didn't have any steering or brakes.
So I go to reach the shifter, and it's not there, and all kinds of stuff's banging underneath, and the truck was down, and here it had broken. The frame had broken between the firewall and the cab, and the floor kind of disappeared. And Daryl, our crew guy, come up to me and said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, but I think something's broke." He said, "Oh, yeah, it's broke. It's broke pretty bad." It broke the mag off. It had a Chevy engine in it at that time. Of course, the mag's at the back, you know. It busted the mag off in the motor, and it was torn up bad. So I called Mark, and I said, "Hey, I tore up this thing pretty bad, and well, we'll fix it." I said, "No, I don't think so. I think you better hurry up and get that new one done." And so we pulled it. We got video footage of pulling it out of the trailer, and the old man saying, "What the hell did you do?" And I just was going to race my buddy, you know. And so that was the end of the Big Boss. It was decided at that point that this thing can't go on. So we built the new. That was when Executioner happened, and the deal with Big Boss had ended. We had worked with Kyosho. We met Everett and ran the USA 1 and all that stuff. It was a very good relationship, but. The Big Boss, they no longer made that toy, or that not toy, the RC truck. Yeah. And so it was time to move on. And so we were building a new truck, and like I say, we met with him. We ran that as USA 1 for a while. But I remember Mark saying he had driven it a couple times, and I went to an event with you.
Yeah.
And he was away on his honeymoon. He just got married.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, you're going to love this thing. You're not going to believe how much it better it is, the Custer coil over shocks." And I drove it for the first time at that arena, and I landed, and I thought, wow, this is, it doesn't keep bouncing, it just lands.
And that would have been probably about 93, I think, because they were Executioner with the Chevy, and I was running the Overkill Ford, and we did a lot of shows together where it was just the two of us. It was the Chevy Ford, rivalry with the pullers, the tractor pullers and stuff, and I remember, that's pretty wild,
Yeah, we did a lot of those, and it was fun, and we kept learning. The trucks kept getting better and better. We kept learning things that we needed to do. And so as that progressed, we were very fortunate. We got hooked up with USA. We started working with them, a fantastic promoter that we dealt with those guys. We were really lucky, and we got in with them, and we got. At that point, they started to develop a relationship with Smokecraft.
Okay.
And Oberto, the beef jerky people. And they had different brands that they sold regionally, so that's where Smokecraft came in, and then the Bulldozer.
Later. Guy Wood had the Bulldozer.
Yeah, we had two Bulldozers.
Oh, was there?
We had one, and he had one.
So you guys had one too. I never realized that.
Yep, and as a matter of fact, it was supposed to debut. They brought out guys in Des Moines, Iowa. Remember when the old Motor Madness show was on TNN, and we were live.
Okay.
And so they were home. Mark was home, and Steve Wood, who was the head guy from USA, he was at our shop, and they were mounting the second Bulldozer body on our truck to debut the following week in Tacoma.
Okay.
And they kept telling me, whatever you do, don't tear the truck up, because it's got to get to Tacoma. We got to leave. We got to get out there. So here we are getting ready to go to Tacoma, and I have the honor of being the first guy live to crash on TV.
Oh, really?
So yeah, the very first race that goes live. Here we are on Motor Madness. We're going live, and I'm in the very first race against David Morris. And I did what I've always told our guys to do, not to do. Don't ever go across the cars if the back wheels turn. I come out of the turn, the back wheels didn't come straight. I went over the cars anyway, and I crashed.
Okay.
And it was live, so they're all home thinking, "Oh no, my God, you just tore it. Now what are we gonna do?" we made it through somehow, and you know, we got it all fixed, and that yep, on the bulldozer went on, of course, to become El Toro and all the whatever, all that, you know, that Feld did with it. But you know, there was mergers along the way, but Executioner ran for a long time. We ran it as a Chevrolet. Won some awards from Chevrolet. At that time, USA had Chevrolet sponsored in a lot of markets, and of course they did a lot of stuff with Bigfoot. So again, that Ford Chevy rivalry was big. And we got a taste at that point of working a little bit with dealers, and that's when we started to learn, hey, there's another avenue of this, and there's a lot more that we could be doing. And I started to talk to a few Dodge dealers, and I found that the Dodge dealers were much more receptive to wanting to do special events and work with you in sales and promotions and things, as opposed to what the Chevy dealers were. At least that was my finding, my experience. So I had a Dodge dealer said, I'll give you a body if you'll do an exhibit for me. And we did. Sadly, lost my dad about that time. You know, he died, that we were talking about 1999 now. We debuted as a Dodge at the Springfield Jamboree in June of '99. That was the first time that we ran Executioner Dodge. And that worked out pretty well. You know, the truck, at this point now we were to the rear engine ones, you know, we were using a Lenco transmission. We were finally getting a taste of racing a little bit better. You know, I couldn't race against Fred Schaefer and Bob Chandler's teams. I couldn't outspend them. They had money, but I had to learn to kind of outthink them, because and that was, of course, not going to happen. You know, those guys had so much. They had so much experience. So I just kept trying and trying, and I thought, well, I got to race smart, because I sure can't, you know, race on their level. But those guys taught me a lot, and I learned a lot of racing against them, racing with them, and one thing led to another.